There's a goat that has a little bell or something. He leads all the other goats into a pen. And then as a trap door, he's the only one knowing he going out that door and all other goats is trapped. They can't, that the Judas goat, so that people don't have to run and catch all the goats all over the pasture. The Judas goat is what we call Obama. He'd bring everybody. He brought all the Negroes. We got free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty. And he brought the Negroes in. Hey man, there's more Negroes in the penitentiary, more Negroes. Man, Obama knocked the Negro. He did what his job was. That was his job. But he did it with step, yeah. He did it with pause, yeah. Brother, right on. And then that's what he did. He's a Judas goat. Anybody else get in there is going to do the same thing. Now, I'll move toward a close. We got a few things we suggest to enlist China, Russia, and friendly media. They got RT here, they on their own thing. They got semi-friendly media all over the world, but they're not the mainstream. So you start feeding both the mainstream and the alternative media. Pretty soon you draw them in and you set a trap for them. And attitude, I just mentioned. We got to have a good attitude. We don't want to be mean-spirited about this, you know, good attitude. Okay. It's provocative. I put this, kind of like not love stories, but happy, easygoing stories. Draw a different picture of yourself than what they have. What it means is humanize yourself. Take charge of the dialogue. Tell your own story. Trump is a perfect madman for this. Strategic counteroffensive, anti-colonial. Remember, that's what they're doing now. They're trying to take all the wealth back from Africa. Remember AFRICOM? They're trying to take all the wealth of the Middle East. That's what the goal. All the wealth of South America. It just so happens that the United States is not aware of the situation it's in. That's where Allah always puts a big negative power, like the U.S. When it's just time to go, it'll develop its own seeds, its own destruction. Okay. We talked about focus on agriculture for Iran, internal development, show how the U.S. uses its money and its currency to deflate everybody else's country. There's a good book, The Enemy, written in 1969 or 70. It tells about that. Even in its own country, there's things that I think Iran has built some refineries in its country where it can separate its own petroleum. Well, it has to build more so that things like gas, food, and all that is cheap. And it has to do that. Remember, if you want the U.S. off your back, you turn your head on them and go on about your business. I said, bump y'all and let them run their mouth and run around in circles. And you there building yourself. Can you imagine the amount of unity and internal development they can develop from inside of the Islamic Republic? They're already doing a good job, but they're missing this element. That's our job. Remember, the Negro knows this system better than anybody. What we've been doing for the last decade or more is testing and trying this thing not for us. It's for them. That's what it's all been about. See, we jumped in on this revolution from day one, actually before. Dr. Algar said, he was introducing me at UC Berkeley. He said, Imam Musa, we was da-da-da-da-da, and we went to Iran before the revolution together. Dr. Algar was right. He was talking about the plane was supposed to land in Tehran, but it snowed, and so they landed in Shiraz. We landed in Shiraz. So we had a whole day to walk around Shiraz, that's hot and relaxed. And he said we was a very odd couple. That means a white man and a Negro. And people was looking at it. So he was introducing me. You heard of Dr. Algar, right? Yeah, Dr. Algar, that's funny. Yeah. He always talks all right about me, from what I heard. Remember, the rich gotta help. So we've been with this. It don't make no difference what the boys downtown do. They're on the run. Everything they did is backfired in their face. But remember, to fight this, there's no hardliners, no softliners, no nothing. It's all Iranian Muslims at this time. We don't have time for anything else. We can get back at each other's throat in 10 years or so. But right now, there's no factions. We don't want to gain off your souls. Arif and them blew it. You don't go, yeah, you blew it, man. No blame game. Don't fix the blame, fix the problem. Remember, don't fix the blame. You did this, you did that, right? Fix the problem. The problem is the USA. Okay. Show Iranians what they can do. Show the world what you're made of. In other words, they have an opportunity. They're not thinking about it right. They just got to figure out, or they got to listen and say, we're better than whatever they're talking about. Rouhani got to stop whining about, oh, they're doing this. You are a country. You are a people. You're Muslims, right? You've already unified the whole everybody on Iran's side is winning. Iraq is now on Iran's side. Syria is on Iran. Iran stopped the bulldozing of Syria like they did in Libya, right? The Hezbollah in Lebanon put a freeze on the Zionists. Nobody else did it. In 2000, the Zionists packed up and left Lebanon. They just drove on out. Okay. And in 2006, I want y'all to remember, 2006, Bashirun, good news. What did they say? Everybody was whining and crying about the invasion of Lebanon. Remember? We said, that's a good deed, man. They done hooked it up. And what did you see a few days later? You saw Zionists on tanks crying. We can't see them. We know they're ghosts. They don't know, we don't know where they are. Right? You ever seen a Zionist cry like a baby? Well, go get that footage from 2006. And I'll close with this. They combined third and second generation weapons in a combination that was unique. And they was able to fight fourth and fifth generation weapons that the Zionists and Americans had. That's what they did then. That's what Hezbollah did. Okay. Real resistance economy. Lectures, khutbahs should be on unity, sacrifice, liberty, independence. I put here semi-Iranianism. That means light Persianism. That means if we was in a big struggle, we would stress Islam, and then black people could do this, that, and other. You know, lightly, not heavily, because Islam is always first. But you want to tap, there's some Iranians that don't care nothing about Islam. A whole lot of them. You got to tap into them too. So when you tap into them is with that Persian history stuff. You see? Because remember, we need their money, their wealth, their power, and those rich people. There's many rich people there. So, the lectures, and I close on this: unity, sacrifice, liberty, independence. Persian Gulf is the Persian Gulf. That's all. We don't want to overdo it. So, are there any questions, any comments about anything we've talked about? Any questions at all?
Oftentimes it seems like it's a common theme, like just for groups of people to, when there's some type of greater threat, to kind of get distracted,
Right.
Not infighting, I will call it, but just
Yeah.
being petty,
Yeah.
and the factionism, I guess, probably a term.
Yeah, factions.
What are some of the remedies, like, we have Islam, for example, but if you could just give some examples of, like, what are some of the remedies that Islam, just out of the book, just gives us to deal with factionism?
Oh, well, the Quran and the Hadith is strong on wahda, unity.
Right.
It's strong, this brotherhood is one. The Hadith of one part of the body hurts, the rest of the body feels the pain. You're not a Muslim unless you love for your brother what you love for yourself. All of those things talks about the power of unity. And when those things were in vogue, the Muslims were a strong power in the world. At times, the strongest power in the world. Okay. So right now, what's the power of disunity? The destruction of the black community. Is the power of disunity. The power of the struggle, whether it's in Mexico or anywhere else, when the Mexicans were one and united, they won. When they became disunited and they followed Carranza or whoever they follow, they get defeated. When people want to destroy a certain movement, say like Francisco Madero in Mexico, they kill that leader, and if the people are not solid, right, then the movement dies. In this country, the dirtiest thing that they did to us was in America, in the West, they already controlled. It wasn't like this in the early 60s, but by the time the rebellion started, my belief is that almost every BSU, Black Student Union, almost every group, almost every organization in America, Muslim, black, white, anybody, why, you look at Black Lives Matter, why it don't get nowhere? Because the United States already got a group of people out there infiltrating them and breaking them up, right? I give you an example about disunity. When I went with Sakina down to Malcolm X Park for the first Black Lives Matter rally in D.C. several years ago. Half of the people was white. White kids, we just wanted to show our solidarity with you guys. And the white kids was just shocked. First of all, I could hear them asking questions. Do they really stop you guys and shoot you and stuff like that? But the white kids, they wasn't being silly. They were just, does this stuff really happen all the time? And the Negro kids was looking at them like, and they had to think themselves, yeah, this is common. All the laws, whether it was in the 80s, high crime neighborhood, they could, in the black neighborhood, they could stop you, go in your car, do anything they want, because you're in a high crime neighborhood. That's unconstitutional, right? Okay, but remember, they've been killing us and beating us upside the head all our life. And remember I was talking the other week about somebody had to tell us in the 50s and 60s that we were oppressed because we thought it's normal. Remember, people grow up with what's normal. That's normal. Well, you last hired and first fired, that's normal. That's no big deal. That's what we do here. So, people had to wake us up and put us on the right road. Right? So, the white kids down there said, the main point is this, it was some Negroes from New York, I've said this many times, they came to the rally, yeah, and Ali had his friend who was on the podium, I don't know what he was, anyway, so I said, hey man, tell the guy I'd like to get the mic for a minute. All of them were new at this. So I told them, I said, in the 60s and 70s, people like that got a lot of brothers killed. Coming, talking, we gotta get guns, we gotta do this. If you're gonna get guns, get them yourself. Get them quietly. You don't go tell no area. You have to advertise. And the police just, and I said, them people there, talking about the Negroes from New York, if they so bad, that's the police. I didn't say get them, but I said, there's police right there. That's police. There they are, right? I went to California. Do you know, as soon as the uprising started in Ferguson, do you know why I saw them niggas from New York? Right there on the TV. And what did the people from Ferguson say? We don't want people from the outside coming in, manipulating the situation. Remember downtown, that big rally? I wasn't even gonna go. They had Joe Madison and all them Negroes, old Al Sharp and them. You know, when I went down, I took my family down when I heard in the background, let them speak, let them speak. Y'all remember that? They was talking about the people from Ferguson. These Negroes here was not gonna let them speak, and they're the original, hey man, we doing this. So all of what we're doing in America is controlled by the system. That's the way it is, ain't nothing, that's the way it is. So anybody that's get to moving after about 2 or 3 weeks, they quiet down. They quiet down. They get disunified, or they lose heart. You gotta remember, people lose heart, man, fast. I'm not bragging, but the dumb white man thought they was gonna do that stuff to us, and they done gave us decades to study them. So we don't care what happened. We're not giving up on none of this. It doesn't make any difference what you do. We're not going to get scared. We're not going to get none of that. Everybody else can do what they want. We got what we have to do. So to the original question is wahda, unity. And we say national unity for Iran will lead to international unity. You got to remember, we're still in the crowd herd mentality. We're still there. A human being is still in that mentality. They need leaders and they need examples. Remember the Arab world in 2006, how happy they was, the Zionists got their clock cleaned? The Saudis put them to sleep, back to sleep, and bought them all off. Anyway, any more questions, any more comments? I hope we answered them. Okay, thank you very much. And remember, psychological guerrilla warfare. That's what Iran should be in now. If they need to know anything, they could call me and we'll tell them how to do it. Because we've already done it here in America. That was the reason we were supposed to do it, right? Evidently, they're not right on the money because they're talking about we'll close the Strait of Hormuz, we'll do this, we'll do that. You can't, you can do what you want, but you don't say it. Peace talk, right? Oh, we just as happy with everybody as we can be, right? And then, boss man, and then go on about your business. Be a leader of the world's Muslim and show everybody what can be done. Forever, remember, when you have a revolution, that's just the beginning. Iran had a revolution 40 years ago. It has not had a day's rest since. When we establish utopia in this world, how long do we have to fight? Forever till we die and go to heaven. That's the only place the struggle is over, when you're in heaven, not here. When you develop the peace, you got to keep the peace. Thank y'all very much. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.